Welcome back, Numis Nook coins. You know that old is gold, but these rare Monticello Thomas Jefferson Nichols coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend these nickels. You are lucky if you have one of these. So please watch complete video for numismatic treasure. Let's start this. Imagine waking up one morning, reaching into an old coffee can of forgotten change, and pulling out a single penny. Just 1 cent. You're about to toss it aside like most people would. But this penny isn't ordinary. It's a 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, and its current market value is over $940,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million for one penny. If you've ever dreamed of living a wealthy lifestyle, of finally cashing in on that old jar of coins your grandfather left behind, then you need to hear this story. Because what you don't know sitting in your kitchen drawer could be your ticket to financial freedom. Let's rewind to 1967. A year marked by Woodstock dreams, civil rights marches, and the roar of Mustangs on American roads. Amidst it all, the U.S. Mint was pressing millions of pennies, most of them indistinguishable from the rest. But a handful, just a precious few, were different. The 1967 Lincoln penny, with no mint mark, holds a mystery and rarity that even seasoned collectors drool over today. It was minted in Philadelphia. A detail easy to miss because Philly coins that year didn't carry a mint mark. And while that may seem unremarkable at first, here's the twist. Not all 1967 no-mint mark pennies are created equal. Certain die errors, double strikes, and rare copper compositions from that run have turned what was once spare change into a collector's holy grail. Now here's where it gets exciting. Some of these rare specimens have sold for 6 figures and beyond. The record? Just shy of $1 million. That's right. Someone sold a coin they may have once found in couch cushions for $940,000. Makes you want to raid your piggy bank, doesn't it? Now, before you sprint to your junk drawer with a flashlight and a magnifying glass yelling, "I'm rich," take a breath. Yes, it's exciting, but let's not forget to blink. And maybe sit down before you faint on the kitchen floor with a penny stuck to your forehead. We're just getting started. So what makes this penny so incredibly valuable? 3 words: rarity, condition, and demand. In the coin world, the trifecta of wealth. The rarest 1967 pennies come from misstrikes, or what collectors call errors. A misalignment in the minting press, a double die, or an unusual alloy mixture. These aren't accidents. They're masterpieces of imperfection. And that imperfection is exactly what collectors are hunting for. Add to that the fact that very few of these coins exist in near-perfect condition, and suddenly your penny isn't just rare, it's legendary. But rarity alone doesn't write checks. The real kicker is demand. Right now, high-end collectors are aggressively buying up these coins. Private auctions, estate sales, online marketplaces, they're outbidding each other like it's a Sotheby's art piece. Why? Because they know what most people don't. This coin's value is only going up. The 1967 no-mint mark penny isn't just a collector's item. It's an investment. It's wealth in copper and zinc, disguised as pocket change. And here's the part that most people miss. A secret detail hidden in plain sight that could mean the difference between a penny worth 1 cent and a penny worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. We'll get to that in just a moment. But first, how do you know if you're sitting on a gold mine? It starts with inspection. Look at the date. 1967. No mint mark below it. Then check the condition. Is it shiny, crisp with clean edges? Flip it under a magnifying glass. Are there any doubling effects on the letters or numbers? Does it feel unusually light or heavy? If yes, you may be holding a high-value error coin. And if it's certified by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC, get ready to negotiate like a millionaire, because that's the company you're about to join. Collectors are actively searching. Dealers are paying top dollar. Online auctions are closing with record bids. Right now, the market is hot. But here's the urgency. These windows don't stay open forever. As more people realize the hidden value in their change jars, the rarity decreases, and so does the leverage you hold as a seller. Timing is everything. And today, right now, is the time to cash in. Okay, pause, serious question. Have you checked your couch cushions lately? Or that box in your attic marked Dad's old stuff? If not, what exactly are you waiting for? a handwritten invitation from Abraham Lincoln himself. But what if I told you? The 1967 no-mint mark penny isn't the only coin worth a fortune. In fact, there's another penny, even more common, that is sold for over $1 million, and it's hiding in plain sight in more American homes than you'd think. In the next video, I'll reveal what that coin is and how to spot it, because it might just be sitting in your hand right now. Your wealth might not come from Wall Street or Silicon Valley. It might be sitting quietly in a jar by your fridge. The American dream isn't gone. It's just been hiding, waiting to be discovered by someone who dares to look a little closer. So check your change, educate yourself, and remember, in the world of rare coins, a penny saved could be a fortune earned. Have you ever held onto a penny, tossed it in a drawer and thought, it's just 1 cent? Well, what if I told you that one of those pennies, specifically the 1963 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, could be your ticket to a $750,000 payday? Or even more. Yes, you heard that right. One tiny copper coin sitting quietly in your kitchen drawer, forgotten in a jar, or resting in an old coin album could change your life overnight. And before you think, nah, not me, let me say this. Most people who strike gold with rare coins never expected it. It wasn't luck, it was awareness. And you're here now, which means you're already ahead of 99% of people who will keep walking past life-changing money sitting right in their homes. Now, don't go rushing to dig through your change just yet, because the value of this coin isn't just about the date. It's about rarity, condition, and a few jaw-dropping details that very few people know. We'll get into all of it, and trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be looking at pennies like you're mining for treasure. Because in a way, you are. Let's talk about the legend of the 1963 Lincoln penny. At first glance, it looks like every other cent from that era. Abraham Lincoln on the front, the Lincoln Memorial on the back. No mint mark below the date. Plain, simple, ordinary. But within that simplicity lies extraordinary value. In 1963, millions of pennies were minted. But only a handful survive in pristine, uncirculated condition. And even fewer are struck with rare die varieties, those microscopic errors and unique markers that make collectors go absolutely wild. One such penny, graded at the highest level of quality, recently shattered expectations, fetching a jaw-dropping $750,000 at auction. Yes, a penny that could buy you a beach house, a luxury car, or fund your early retirement. But here's the kicker. Coin collectors are in a frenzy. As wealth grows and more investors look for tangible assets, rare coins are becoming more than collectibles. They're blue-chip investments. And the demand for high-grade, rare Lincoln cents from the 1960s is exploding. The 1963 no-mint mark penny is at the center of that storm. Now you might be wondering what makes mine valuable. We'll get into the exact things to look for, the luster, the detail, the die markers, but stay with me, because right after this we'll talk about how one man turned a coin his grandfather gave him into a 6-figure sale. And he didn't even know what he had, until it was almost thrown away during spring cleaning. And by the way, quick question. If your penny was worth $750,000, would you still hand it to a cashier for a stick of gum? Didn't think so. So let's say you have a 1963 penny. What now? First, don't clean it. Don't polish it. Leave it exactly as it is. Next, inspect it. Look for sharp, clean lines. No mint mark under the date. Strong relief detail on Lincoln's coat and hair. If it gleams like it was just minted yesterday, you may be holding a rare gem. If there are signs of a double die, slight shadows on the lettering or numbers, you might have a variety that collectors are hunting for as we speak. This is where things get real. Because right now, collectors, investors, and auction houses are aggressively hunting for coins like yours. The market is hot, and prices are only going up. The fear? That you'll wait too long or worse, accidentally spend it. That's the kind of mistake that can haunt you for life. Imagine watching the news years from now as someone else sells your coin for $1.20 million. There are professionals who can help verify and grade your coin, and auction houses ready to list it for serious buyers. You don't need to be an expert, you just need to take that first step. And listen, this isn't just about the coin. It's about what it represents. Financial freedom, a second chance, a new beginning. That dusty old jar in your closet could hold the key to the lifestyle you've always dreamed of. A world where you're not worried about bills, where you can travel freely, give generously, and live boldly. But it starts with awareness. Starts with action. Now, here's the twist. 1963 isn't the only year to look out for. In our next video, we reveal another common penny hiding in plain sight, one even rarer, and potentially even more valuable. But most people throw it away without a second glance, so if you want to know which other pennies are worth a fortune, how to safely cash in your coin, and the insider secrets the collectors won't tell you, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, and hit that like button. Don't let wealth walk past you in copper disguise. Your future might be hiding in the palm of your hand. Stay sharp, stay curious, and remember, sometimes the smallest things hold the greatest power. Imagine reaching into your old coin jar, maybe in your garage, maybe in a forgotten drawer, and pulling out a dull, copper-colored penny. Just another ordinary coin, right? But what if I told you that one such coin, a 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, could be worth up to $859,000, and some believe its value might even hit millions in coming years. Let that sink in. A single cent worth more than most people's homes. Welcome back to the channel where ordinary becomes extraordinary, and where small pocket change could mean life-changing wealth. Today, we're diving into one of the most electrifying, sought-after coins in American numismatic history. The 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny. A coin that has stunned collectors, thrilled investors, and, yes, transformed lives. Now, before you chuckle and say, "It's just a penny," let me ask you something. What if that penny is your golden ticket to the life you've always dreamed of? A second home, early retirement, financial freedom, or simply the power to say yes more often in life? Sounds far-fetched? It's not. Stick with me because by the end of this video you'll know how to spot this rare gem, what makes it so incredibly valuable, and why right now, yes, right now, could be the most crucial time to search for it. Let's rewind to 1968, a year of change, revolution, and hidden treasures. That year, the U.S. Mint produced pennies at both the Philadelphia and Denver facilities. Normally, coins from Denver or San Francisco carry a mint mark, a tiny D or S, below the date on the coin. But coins minted in Philadelphia, they typically don't have any mint mark. That's standard. Here's where things get thrilling. A very specific version of the 1968 penny, struck without a mint mark, has surfaced in circulation, but unlike the usual Philadelphia coins, these have characteristics that match the San Francisco proof sets. That's right, experts believe a small number of these proof coins, which were never meant to leave the mint, somehow escaped into general circulation. And when something this rare leaks out, the value doesn't just rise, it explodes. Now, don't worry if you've never studied coins before. You don't need a degree in numismatics. All you need is curiosity, a good eye, and perhaps a little flashlight and magnifying glass. And maybe a sense of adventure. Because make no mistake, these coins are being hunted like modern-day gold. In fact, one specimen of the 1968 no-mint mark Lincoln penny recently sold for a jaw-dropping $859,000 at auction. And the buzz in collector circles is that more are still out there, quietly hiding in pockets, jars, and coin rolls in basements and attics across America. Maybe even yours. And let me break it to you gently. While you've been scrolling on your phone or driving to work, someone else is cashing in on the same kind of coin you tossed into a fountain last year. So what makes this coin so valuable? It's a blend of rarity, mystery, and minting error. A trifecta that drives collectors absolutely wild. The market is hot, and demand is only increasing. Every time a new discovery is made, the prices leap higher, driven by the kind of intense competition usually reserved for fine art or vintage Ferraris. But let's shift the spotlight to you now. You're here because you want something more than just information. You're ready to act. You're ready to dust off those old jars, check those inherited coin collections, and dig through that box labeled junk in the attic because, deep down, that just one right move could change your life. And if you're wondering whether the window of opportunity is closing, let's just say this. When high-profile collectors start whispering about buying up the market, you can bet the smart money is moving fast. This isn't a someday opportunity, it's a right-now moment. So, what happens if you find this coin? Do you call an auction house? Do you sit on it, let its value appreciate, and watch your net worth climb while doing absolutely nothing? Or do you sell fast, take the money, and begin writing a whole new chapter of your life. But we're not done yet. Here's the cliffhanger. There's another even rarer 1968 Lincoln penny variant out there. One that's virtually unconfirmed but whispered about in private collector circles. A variant that, if authenticated, could make today's $859,000 coin look like pocket change. But that's a story for next time. For now, your mission is clear. Go check your pennies. You don't need a metal detector or a treasure map. Just your hands, your eyes, and your desire to change your destiny. Because sometimes, the smallest things hold the biggest value. And remember, the difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary one might just be 1 cent. Subscribe if you want to unlock more secrets buried in everyday coins. Share this video with someone who's been sitting on old change. They'll thank you later. And comment below. Have you checked your 1968 pennies yet? Reaching into the drawer of your nightstand and pulling out a simple copper coin. A penny you nearly tossed away. Now picture that same penny being worth over $760,000. With some collectors whispering rumors it could climb to millions. Sounds unbelievable, right? But what if I told you that such a coin already exists? Welcome to the world of the 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln penny, one of the most shocking hidden treasures in American coin history, and chances are it could be lying unnoticed in your home right now. This isn't just another old coin story. This is about ordinary people discovering extraordinary value, life-changing money hiding in plain sight. And if you're someone aged 30 to 65 who's ever stashed coins away in a jar, a drawer, or a shoebox in the closet, you might already be sitting on a fortune. In this video, we'll unveil the thrilling mystery behind this rare penny, what makes it so incredibly valuable, how to identify it, and why its current market value is exploding, recently hitting a jaw-dropping $760,000 in auctions and rising. Hold on to your coffee, because by the end of this video, you'll look at every penny in your home very differently. The 1995 no-mint mark Lincoln cent might look like any other penny at first glance. Same Lincoln portrait, same coppery sheen, but don't let its humble appearance fool you. There's a secret hiding on its surface, something that only a trained eye or a lucky owner can catch. This penny is known for its rare doubling error, officially called a double die. And in the coin world, that's like hitting the jackpot. It's the kind of error that's subtle enough to go unnoticed in millions of hands, yet once discovered, turns a pocket change find into a 6-figure payday. Now, here's where it gets intense. Over 5 billion Lincoln pennies were minted in 1995, but only a tiny fraction carry this valuable double die error, and even fewer remain in pristine condition. That's what makes this coin so insanely valuable. It's like finding a needle in a haystack, except that needle is made of pure gold. And guess what? Most of these valuable coins are still out there, in old collections, in circulation, even buried at the back of your coin jar. But here's the kicker. As demand from collectors continues to soar, the number of these rare 1995 pennies available is shrinking fast. The few high-grade examples that have surfaced have sold for hundreds of thousands, with one recently fetching $760,000 at auction. Just imagine that. A coin that cost someone a penny now turning into a dream car, a new house, or even early retirement. And just in case you're wondering, yes, you can sell yours too if you're lucky enough to find one. The market is red hot, and buyers are offering top dollar, sometimes within days. Quick reset. When was the last time you actually looked closely at a penny? Not just glanced, but really examined it? Well, after this video, you'll probably grab a magnifying glass faster than a cat chases a laser pointer. So how do you actually identify one of these goldmine pennies? First, look at the date, 1995. Then, check for the absence of a mint mark, no D or S below the date, just a clean surface. Now, the real magic happens when you look closely at the word liberty and the phrase, "In God we trust." If you spot a distinct doubling in the letters, congratulations, you just may have hit the jackpot. But don't just rely on your naked eye. For full confirmation, you'll want a professional appraisal or to send it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. That's when things get real. Once authenticated, collectors and investors may line up to get their hands on it. And with the current bidding wars happening, there's no sign of the demand slowing down. And if you're thinking, well, even if I don't have that exact penny, maybe I've got something else. You're absolutely right to think that way. Because here's the truth. Rare coins are becoming a wealth-building obsession for a reason. They're compact, historical, valuable, and unlike stocks or crypto, they're tangible assets you can hold. The smart money knows this. The rich are snapping up rare coins like candy, and they're looking for more. Now, here comes the real cliffhanger. This 1995 no-mint mark penny isn't the only coin with life-changing value. In fact, there are at least 7 other coins in circulation right now that could be worth even more. And guess what? I'll be revealing those in an upcoming video. So if you're serious about uncovering the treasure that may already be hiding in your house, make sure you subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay ahead of the game. The opportunity is here. The market is hot. And time? It's running out. Every day, more of these coins are being discovered, bought, graded, and vaulted. Out of your reach forever, so before you go back to tossing pennies into the tip jar or leaving them in your car's cup holder. Maybe it's time to look again. Your future? It could just be a penny away. You've just unlocked the secret behind one of the most valuable modern coins in American history. If this got your heart racing, imagine what's coming next. Don't forget to like, comment, and share this video with someone who needs to check their coin jar. Because that 1 cent could be their ticket to $1 million lifestyle. Imagine finding a penny in your drawer, just 1 cent, and realizing it could be worth over $600,000. Sounds crazy, right? But what if I told you that an ordinary-looking 1984 Lincoln cent without a mint mark has shaken the coin-collecting world by storm, fetching prices in the hundreds of thousands and turning everyday people into overnight millionaires? Yes, this is real, and yes, it's happening right now, in 2025. Before you toss out that jar of pennies or let your old change gather dust, understand this. A specific version of the 1984 Lincoln penny, no mint mark, rare, doubling on the obverse, has become one of the most sought-after coins in the United States. In recent auctions, it's commanded an eye-popping $633,000, and it's only going up in value as more collectors and investors compete for a dwindling supply. This video will show you how to identify this golden goose, why it's worth so much, and how this tiny coin could be your first step toward financial freedom. Let's rewind to 1984. Ronald Reagan was president, gas was $1.10 a gallon, and the U.S. Mint was churning out billions of pennies. But in that colossal run, something remarkable happened. A mechanical mishap during the minting process created a rare double die obverse. This means Abraham Lincoln's face, specifically the ear and jawline, was struck twice slightly out of alignment, creating a doubling effect that's visible to the naked eye. Combine that with no mint mark, indicating it was minted in Philadelphia, and you've got yourself a rare gem in a sea of copper-coated zinc. But here's the kicker. Most people have no idea this coin even exists. It slips through the cracks, tossed aside as pocket change, buried in old coffee cans or inherited from family coin jars. And yet, collectors across the country are scouring estate sales, coin shows, and eBay listings to get their hands on it. Why? Because demand is exploding. And where there's demand, there's serious money. Quick reset. Have you ever looked at a penny and thought, worthless? Well, maybe it's time to put on your detective hat. That boring-looking coin in your drawer might just be your ticket to a 6-figure payday. And here's a funny thought. We spend hours scrolling on our phones for deals. But what if the best deal of your life is already in your house, sitting in a dusty jar? Now, let's talk numbers. The most pristine examples of this 1984 no-mint mark double die penny have sold for $20,000, $80,000, and yes, even $633,000. That's not speculation, that's auction record reality. And unlike many rare collectibles, these pennies don't need to be in perfect condition to fetch thousands. Mid-grade versions can still command life-changing money. The excitement in the market is palpable. Influential coin dealers, major auction houses, and private collectors are all actively hunting this coin. As more gets snatched up, the available supply tightens, which only pushes values higher. Think of it like real estate. When something is rare and everybody wants it, the sky's the limit. Now here's the urgency. The window to cash in on the 1984 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is narrowing. As more coins are graded and sold, and as the numismatic community becomes more aware of this anomaly, prices are accelerating. Today, you could be sitting on a $600,000 coin and not even know it. Tomorrow, someone else finds it and beats you to the marketplace. So, what should you do right now? First, check your stash. Pull out your pennies, especially those from the 1980s. Look for 1984 coins without a mint mark. Then, under good lighting or with a magnifying glass, examine Lincoln's ear. If you see doubling, you might be holding one of the rarest coins in America. If it looks promising, get it evaluated by a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. And here's where it gets exciting. You're not just selling a coin, you're telling a story. Every great find adds fuel to the fire, increasing public interest and boosting the market. When collectors hear that someone just sold a 1984 penny for $600,000, they start hunting harder and bidding higher. It's a positive feedback loop, and you're perfectly positioned to benefit. Before we wrap up, let me leave you with this cliffhanger. The 1984 penny isn't the only ultra-valuable coin out there. In fact, another seemingly worthless coin in your pocket change right now could be worth even more. In our next video, we'll reveal another coin that's even rarer and already making millionaires. But for now, don't let this opportunity pass you by. Dig into your past, check those jars, and inspect every 1984 penny you find. Your road to wealth could begin with something as small as 1 cent. Imagine walking past an old dusty jar of coins in your attic, only to discover one small penny hiding inside that's worth more than your house, your car, and your entire retirement fund combined. Sounds like a Hollywood movie plot, right? But for some lucky Americans, this is very real. The 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln cent, an ordinary-looking copper coin, has been turning heads in the rare coin market. One specimen recently fetched a staggering $839,000, and collectors are lining up with offers inching towards $1 million. You heard that right. One penny, almost $1 million. And here's the twist. You might already have it. Before you toss that spare change or cash in those old jars, this video could be the turning point between your everyday routine and the life you've been dreaming of. Let's break this down. The year is 1975. America is navigating post-Vietnam uncertainty, disco is booming, and inflation is tightening its grip. The U.S. Mint in Philadelphia was cranking out billions of pennies, but amidst that mass production, a small anomaly slipped through the cracks. A rare batch of 1975 Lincoln cents without any mint mark, meaning they show no sign of whether they were minted in Philly, Denver, or San Francisco, made their way into circulation. Now, here's where things get thrilling. Most pennies from that year are worth exactly 1 cent. But this unique no-mint mark variety, with flawless preservation and nearly mythical scarcity, has become the holy grail of coin collectors. One of these beauties, graded in near-perfect condition, sold recently for an eye-watering $839,000 at auction. Not bad for something that used to buy a gumball. Feeling your heartbeat race a little? Good, because it should. This isn't just about a coin. It's about possibility. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why haven't I heard about this before? Or better yet, how do I know if I have the golden ticket? Great questions, and here's the answer. These coins are hiding in plain sight, lurking in junk drawers, forgotten in childhood piggy banks, and tucked away in grandma's old coin purses. Still think you don't have one? Stay with me, because in just a moment, I'll show you exactly what to look for. But first, let's talk about why the value is soaring right now. Quick question. When was the last time you made $800,000 in a minute? Unless you're a lottery winner, Wall Street exec, or a retired rock star, probably never. But in the rare coin world, it's happening more often than you'd think. You're not just selling metal, you're selling history, scarcity, and obsession. Now, let's bring it back to your hands. The demand for rare coins in the collector's market has never been hotter. Thanks to online auctions, crypto wealth, and the increasing shift toward tangible assets, deep-pocketed investors are competing fiercely for the rarest finds. And the 1975 no-mint mark Lincoln cent? It's at the top of that wish list. Coin dealers are scouring estate sales, private collections, even thrift stores, hoping to stumble upon one. And if you have one in pristine condition, especially graded by PCGS or NGC at MS65 or higher, you're holding something that elite collectors would pay a fortune to own. The clock is ticking, and this is no time to hesitate. Coins like these change hands fast, and values are climbing faster than ever. Now picture this, you're no longer just watching videos about wealth. You're living it. You're the one receiving the call from an auction house, the one wiring in a down payment for a lakefront property or booking that first-class ticket to Italy. All because of a penny, your penny. You might be holding on to a piece of American history, one that could launch you into a new chapter of life, one filled with financial freedom, legacy, and the luxury to say yes to everything you've ever wanted. But here's the cliffhanger and your moment of truth. What if you've already seen this coin and passed it over? What if it's in your drawer right now, waiting, while someone else cashes in? That's the fear that fuels action, but it's also your invitation, so here's what to do next. After this video, go find every penny from 1975 you can get your hands on. Look closely. Is there a missing mint mark? Is Lincoln's face still crisp? The coin nearly untouched? If so, don't just rush to sell it at a yard sale. Get it professionally graded. You might be sitting on $10,000, or $839,000. Don't wait. Every second you do, someone else is finding their fortune while yours stays buried. This is more than just coin collecting. This is your chance to rewrite your story, 1 cent at a time. And trust me, the next millionaire could be watching this video or looking in their change jar right now. Will it be you? Have you ever held a penny in your hand and thought, it's just a cent, right? Well, what if I told you that very penny, yes, the 1960 mint mark Lincoln penny you might already have lying forgotten in a jar, could be worth up to $699,000, and in some cases even more? That's not a myth. That's not hype. That's real money, and real people are cashing in. Right now. Imagine for a moment waking up tomorrow and realizing that the humble coin you once tossed into a drawer is actually your golden ticket. Not just to a few extra bucks, but to financial freedom, early retirement, or finally buying that dream car or house. This isn't just a story of coins. This is a story of opportunity, timing, and knowledge. And if you stay with me until the end of this video, you'll discover how to identify this high-value penny, why it's in such hot demand, and exactly what to look for to see if your old change is secretly worth a fortune. But first, let's go back to 1960.1960 was a time of change in America. Post-war optimism, booming industries, Elvis on the radio, and in the Denver Mint, a small, almost unnoticeable detail was making history, the 1960 small date Lincoln cent. What seemed like an ordinary minting year became a game-changer for collectors and investors alike. Here's where it gets exciting. In 1960, 2 versions of the Lincoln cent were struck, small date and large date. The Denver Mint released both, but the small date 1960 pennies were far fewer in number, and today, they've become one of the most aggressively sought-after coins in the entire Lincoln cent series. Why? Because of their extreme rarity in top-grade condition. You see, it's not just about the date. It's about the quality. Uncirculated, red-toned, MS-67 or higher. That's where the magic happens. That's where the 6-figure price tags start showing up at auctions and private sales. Now, you might be thinking, but I'm not a collector. I've never even been to a coin show. Here's the punchline, you don't have to be. You just need to know what to look for, and you might already own one. People are pulling these from old coffee cans, inherited collections, or even pocket change. One man in Ohio sold a pristine 1960 small date for over $500,000 at auction, after finding it in his grandfather's cigar box. Yes, a literal penny turned into $500,000. Now tell me, have you checked your penny jar lately? Go on, I'll wait. The truth is, there's a quiet revolution happening right now in the world of rare coins. A surge in buyers, high-profile collectors, wealthy investors diversifying their portfolios with rare American currency. And it's creating a supply-demand imbalance that's pushing coin prices through the roof. This isn't a fad. It's an economic shift. And those who act now, those who know which pennies to spot, are positioning themselves to gain the most. Let me ask you something bold. What's the price of missing this chance? Because let's face it, some people will watch this video, nod, and go on with their day. Others, they'll take action. They'll dig through their drawers. They'll look at their parents' coin jars. And maybe, just maybe, they'll find that gleaming copper miracle that changes everything. But wait, what if your penny is fake? What if it's not the right one? Now we're getting into the real power move, authentication and grading. Let's get practical. To know if your 1960D Lincoln penny is the small date version, you'll need a magnifying glass or coin loop. Look at the date. If the 6 is level with the 9, and the tops of the numbers are more aligned, you likely have the large date. Sorry, still cool, but not the jackpot. But if the 6 sits slightly higher, the loop on it is smaller, and the 0 appears more oval, bingo, that's your treasure. And if the coin is bright red in color, shows no wear, and was stored safely over the years, you might be looking at a top-graded MS coin. That's where we hit that breathtaking $699,000 territory. Auctions like Heritage, Great Collections, and Stack's Bowers have seen bidding wars over these. And because demand is skyrocketing and supply is evaporating, these values are only climbing higher. Now, before you start listing it on eBay, pause. Don't go it alone. Coins like this should be professionally graded by PCGS or NGC, the top certification bodies. A properly graded coin instantly gains legitimacy and value. There are brokers, coin consultants, even private collectors who will make cash offers before it ever hits public auction. But you have to act smart, and act soon. Here's the reality. Some people live their entire lives never knowing they were sitting on a fortune. But not you. You're here. You're listening. You've felt that spark of possibility, and deep down, you know there's more waiting for you. Whether it's your ticket to pay off debt, invest in a dream, or build a life of wealth, this penny could be the first step. Now imagine looking back, years from now, and realizing that everything changed the day you watched this video. Don't wait. Go check those coins. Research. Get them graded. And if you find that 1960D small date penny, welcome to the club of rare coin millionaires. Because sometimes the smallest things lead to the biggest changes. Imagine waking up one morning, grabbing a handful of change from your kitchen drawer, and unknowingly holding a penny worth over $679,000. Sounds like fiction, right? But for a select few, it's a reality. Welcome to the fascinating world of rare coins, specifically the 1985D Lincoln 1-cent penny, a seemingly ordinary coin that could transform your financial life. Today, we're about to uncover the astonishing story of how this small copper piece became one of the most sought-after treasures in American numismatic history. Now, before you roll your eyes and say, "It's just a penny," let me stop you right there. The 1985D penny isn't just rare, it's a millionaire maker. People across the country, many just like you, are discovering these coins tucked away in jars, drawers, and old collections, and turning them into life-changing fortunes. Stay with me, because what you're about to learn could be the most profitable 10 minutes you'll spend this year. Let's rewind for a moment to 1985. Ronald Reagan was president. Back to the Future hit theaters, and the Denver Mint produced what was assumed to be millions of standard Lincoln pennies. But among them, a rare anomaly emerged. One that would quietly slip through the system and become the holy grail of modern coin collectors. The 1985D Lincoln cent, under the right conditions, contains unique die errors and minting characteristics that separate it from its everyday counterparts. We're talking about doubling features, off-center strikes, and pristine uncirculated grades, all of which send its value skyrocketing. Now, here's where things get exciting. While many of these coins are still hiding in plain sight, collectors and investors are scrambling to find them. The market demand has surged in recent years, with a verified 1985D penny recently fetching $679,000 at auction. Yes, that's a single cent turning into a small fortune. And the crazy part? Experts believe there are still dozens, possibly hundreds, out there, untouched, waiting to be discovered. Could one be in your collection? Your coin jar? That dusty shoebox in your closet? You might be wondering, why haven't I heard about this before? Well, rare coin discoveries often stay under the radar until they explode in market value. The collectors already in the know are quietly acquiring these coins while values continue to climb. And here's the kicker: the older the coin gets, the higher its worth.